Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. How are you? I hope you all will be fine. My name is Abbas Jafri. I am your chemistry teacher of class 8th. In today's lecture, we study the two remaining branches of chemistry, environmental chemistry and analytical chemistry. This is the last part of the branches of chemistry topic. I hope so that you have watched the previous lectures as well. Let's start the today's lecture. Now, the next branch is environmental chemistry. It is the branch of chemistry in which we study about components of environment and the effects of human activities on the environment. Let's repeat the branch again. It is the branch of chemistry in which we study about components of environment and the effects of human activities on the environment. In other words, in this branch, we study what are the components of environment and what are the human activities and how human activities damage or pollute the environment. Now discuss what are the components of environment. There are the two major components of environment. First are abiotic components and the second are biotic components. Abiotic components comprises physical or non-living components such as air, water, soil, energy, radiations, and other components are also involved like pressure, temperature, etc. And biotic component comprises plants, animals, bacteria and fungi, algae. As the name indicates, bio means life. All the living organisms are biotic components of environment. So dear students, here a question arises. What is the relationship between biotic components and abiotic components? See, the answer is that biotic components depend upon abiotic components for their survival in environment. We as a human being depend upon temperature, pressure. We also depend upon air to breathe, water to drink, and soil for cultivation and production of food, which means that there is a direct relationship between biotic and abiotic components of environment. Now, we discuss about the scope of environmental chemistry. Environmental chemistry is related to other branches like biology because biology means study of living things, so it comprises in biotic components, geology, so soil is an abiotic components, ecology about atmosphere and environment, soil and water. So environmental chemistry is related to other branches like biology, geology, ecology, soil and water. The knowledge of chemical processes taking place in environment is necessary for its improvement and protection against pollution. So the question here is, what is pollution? Human activities and industrial waste cause drastic changes or pollution in the environment, such as water pollution and air pollution. A pollutant is a waste material that pollutes air, water, or soil. Water pollution is a contamination of water channels like lakes, rivers, oceans, and groundwater. Water pollution occurs when pollutants are discharged or thrown directly or indirectly into water channels without a proper treatment to remove harmful compounds. Here is a picture of a sick earth, which is begging to us that save the environment and change your ways of living and say no to pollution. Next branch is analytical chemistry. It deals with the separation and analysis of a sample to identify its components. The separation is carried out prior to qualitative and quantitative analysis. So we repeat the definition again. It deals with the separation and analysis of a sample to identify its components. The separation is carried out prior to qualitative and quantitative analysis. Now, dear students, there are two words to explain. One is separation and other is analysis. So separation means the separation of mixture, the separation of the components of a sample. If we have the sample of water or a sample of blood or a sample of any material, we have to separate the component of that sample. There are the various techniques that are used for separation of components of a sample, which are crystallization, filtration, sublimation, evaporation, distillation, and chromatography. Here is the scope of analytical chemistry. In this branch, different techniques and instruments used for analysis are studied. The scope of this branch covers food analysis of food sample analysis, water sample analysis, and environmental and clinical analysis. So we can say that analytical chemistry is a basis of chemical research. In analytical chemistry, we use instruments to find answers, and we analyze the samples and identify and evaluates and compare the different values. Now we will discuss what is the difference between qualitative and quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis provides the identity of a substance or composition of a chemical species. For example, when we study the sample of an atmosphere, it contains the identity or components which are nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and other gases. So in the qualitative analysis, we just identify the components. Identification of presence or absence of a substance in a sample, we can say that it is discussed in qualitative analysis. And quantitative analysis is a detailed analysis which determines the amount of each component present in a sample. For example, the percentage of nitrogen, oxygen, and argon is discussed in quantitative analysis. So qualitative data deals with description only. Data cannot be observed but not measured. It discusses about the quality like color, texture, smell, or taste. But quantitative data deals with numbers. Data which can be measured, such as speed, time, temperature, humidity, percentages, level, which is called quantity. Quantitative means quantity. Here is the example of oil painting. You can see that in the first qualitative data, which comprises about color, smell, texture, and quantitative data describes about the dimension of that picture frame. Here is an example. You see a diagram. We will explain its qualitative and quantitative analysis. Its qualitative analysis is a bunch of beautiful, round and smooth glass marbles, which are its characteristics. But quantitative analysis, we can say 5 marbles of 1.5 cm diameter each. It is a quantitative analysis, which include numbers, numerical data, etc. Dear students, here is an assignment for you to learn and practice. Define environmental chemistry, its scope, analytical chemistry, its scope, and in the last, differentiate between qualitative and quantitative analysis. Stay home, be safe. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.